about the situation in North Korea, also known as the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Since the signing of the Armistice Agreement in 1953, North Korea has been extremely satisfied with keeping its people separated from the outside world. The country is so completely closed that everything we know about North Korea comes from spies and terrifying stories from defectors. Information about North Korea is only what their government allows. Here are 15 of the strangest things found only in North Korea. On the bustling streets of Pyongyang, the capital of North Korea, a unique and attention-grabbing sight has fascinated both tourists and locals alike. Traffic girls. These women, previously known as traffic guards, have become an indispensable part of Pyongyang's urban landscape since the 1980s. They are selected from the ranks of the national police force based on specific criteria such as age, height, and appearance. Candidates must be between 16 and 26 years old, at least 1.65 meters tall, and have a pleasant and friendly appearance. In addition to these requirements, they must also demonstrate loyalty to the ruling party and have a clean family background and be unmarried. When selected, the traffic girls undergo rigorous training to master traffic control signals and gestures. Their movements characterized by precision, flexibility, and grace as they effortlessly guide cars, buses, and bicycles through the city's busy intersections. They are equipped with batons, whistles, and traffic control boards to assist in their work and frequently change positions every 30 minutes to maintain alertness and focus. The traffic girls are a distinctive symbol of the unique combination of power, duty, and order in North Korea. They are a source of national pride and play a crucial role in keeping the streets safe and orderly. With uniforms that are both functional and visually appealing, they embody discipline and beauty. They work long hours in harsh conditions and are an inspiration to foreign visitors. A fake city in the Korean demilitarized zone. A seemingly normal town named Jong, also known as Propaganda Village, is located in the Korean demilitarized zone. Although completely uninhabited, it still functions as a facade to showcase North Korea's development and prosperity. In the 1950s, after the Korean War divided the peninsula into North and South, Jong was created as a bizarre structure with the purpose of using promises of a better life to lure defectors from the South. As part of a psychological warfare strategy. From a distance, Jong looks like a modern village with school buildings, offices, and even a hospital. The exterior of the buildings is neat and continuous maintenance gives the impression that the village is inhabited. However, upon closer inspection, it becomes clear that these structures are nearly empty concrete blocks with painted windows and no signs of life inside. The government keeps everything updated and even adjusts the lights at night to pretend that activities are taking place. Jong has become a symbol of North Korea's obsession with image and control. It creates the impression that the country is progressing, despite the lack of real development. Jong is also famous for having the world's tallest flagpole at 160 meters, with the North Korean flag flying proudly. This impressive structure is a testament to the nation's determination to assert its power and presence in the region. The demilitarized zone where Jong is located stretches 250 kilometers across the Korean peninsula and serves as a buffer zone between the two Koreas. Ironically, since no civilians live here, the area has become primarily a sanctuary for wildlife. Jong is a mysterious village, a reminder of the ongoing hostility between North and South Korea. It is not the only fake city in North Korea, but it is the most famous due to its strategic location in the demilitarized zone. Tourists visiting the area often observe Jong through binoculars, hoping to catch a glimpse of this mysterious village. The North Korean regime has a history of building elaborate facades, known as Potemkin villages, to deceive others and create an image of prosperity and progress. This tactic aims to intimidate opponents as well as maintain citizen loyalty and support by perpetuating the myth of a prosperous and powerful nation. Strange time zone. Another peculiar feature of North Korea is its time zone, known as Pyongyang time, or Korean Standard Time. This emphasizes the country's isolation and uniqueness. Before Pyongyang time, North Korea decided to set its clocks back by 30 minutes on August 15, 2015. Establishing a time zone different from both South Korea and Japan, as well as the rest of the world. The decision to switch to UTC plus 8:30, which the North Korean government declared was a way to separate itself from Japan, the country that occupied the Korean peninsula from 1910 to 1945. Previously, North Korea shared this time zone with South Korea and Japan. North Korea attempts to demonstrate its national identity and independence, while symbolizing the elimination of Japanese imperialist influence, by returning to the time zone that was used before Japan occupied the country. The adoption of Pyongyang time has caused many practical consequences. Businesses and organizations operating on the Korean peninsula face difficulties due to the time difference with North Korea, as they had to adjust schedules and communication to accommodate the time gap. Even international travelers face difficulties having to calculate the 30-minute difference when booking flights, trains, and other means of transportation. Jong Hotel. Jong Hotel is a 105-story skyscraper in Jong, North Korea. Built since 1987. Originally, it was intended to become the world's tallest hotel, but construction was halted in 1992 due to financial problems. Jong Hotel has still not opened, and there are many theories about why. Some suggest that the building's structure may be weak and unable to withstand natural disasters like earthquakes. Reports indicate there were many problems during the hotel's construction, including the use of poor quality materials and substandard construction workmanship. These shortcomings raise doubts about the building's stability and safety, which may be why the hotel has failed to attract guests. Others argue that the delay in opening the hotel is due to a lack of funding and the absence of suitable foreign partners to manage operations. Although the North Korean government has contacted several luxury hotel corporations, such as Kinsky, no agreement has been reached. Finding partners to manage the hotel has become difficult, due to prolonged economic sanctions and restrictions in international relations. The hotel, with 3,000 rooms and amenities like conference halls and a revolving restaurant, is a great idea that remains unrealized. Jong Hotel continues to attract attention and provides a unique glimpse into the complexities of North Korea, regardless of whether the hotel actually opens. Ban on jeans and Western clothing. North Korea has a state-controlled economy, and the government strictly manages every aspect of life, including fashion. The country has dress regulations emphasizing conservatism and modesty, with a preference for traditional Korean attire. North Koreans are expected to wear clothing that reflects their country's socialist values and promotes solidarity and unity. Jeans and Western clothing are considered symbols of capitalist culture and are therefore banned. The North Korean government also uses restrictions on Western clothing as a way to control the flow of information and ideas from outside. By limiting access to Western clothing, the government can restrict exposure to Western culture and ideas, which they view as a threat to their socialist ideals. Although there is no official ban on jeans and Western clothing in North Korea, the government still encourages limiting their use and distribution as a way to maintain control over society and limit exposure to external influences. State-regulated hairstyles. To maintain control over citizens and protect the regime's reputation, the North Korean state strictly regulates personal grooming and appearance. Hairstyles are approved according to state regulations, with separate lists of hairstyles for men and women. This is also one of the strange and prominent aspects of this control. These hairstyles are typically short and simple, while longer hair is seen as a symbol of capitalist and moral decay. For men, the common hairstyle is usually neat and short, i.e. 5 centimeters in length, with sideburns cut short at ear level. One of the popular hairstyles for men in North Korea is the hairstyle that leader Kim Jong-un wears. For women, acceptable hairstyles depend on factors such as age and marital status. Married women are allowed to use a few hair accessories and can have slightly longer hair compared to unmarried women. Meanwhile, unmarried women are required to keep their hair short and neat. Typically, women's hair cannot be dyed or permed, because these trends are considered to be influenced by Western culture and could threaten the spirit of national ideals. The government enforces hairstyle regulations through regular inspections and initiatives from local community organizations and government representatives. Hair salons must display posters and images of permitted hairstyles, and those who do not comply may be fined, criticized, or even publicly humiliated. The deification worship of eternal leaders. The deification of North Korea's leadership family, the Kim family, is one of the prominent characteristics of the society here. The regime has meticulously built and maintained worship and mythology around its leaders throughout the past 7 decades, portraying them as divine entities and eternal protectors of the nation. At the center of this worship is Kim Il-sung, the nation's founder, who is regarded as a divine figure who single-handedly built and developed the country. His image is displayed on public buildings, halls, and residential facilities. And the country's political philosophy called Juche is based on his beliefs and philosophy. His successors, Kim Jong-il, the beloved leader and eternal general secretary, and Kim Jong-un, the current North Korean leader, are also highly revered. The Kim family is the subject of a complex and comprehensive mythology, including stories about their births, lives, and achievements, both supernatural and miraculous. For example, some say that Kim Jong-il was born under an double rainbow, could control the weather, and never needed to use the bathroom. There are also claims that Kim Jong-un could drive a car from the age of 3. These are precisely the things that North Koreans must face in their daily lives. The computer and internet system in North Korea. First, the Democratic People's Republic of Korea strictly manages and monitors citizens' access to information. To own a computer, you must have special permission from the government. And each computer is registered with the police, making it a dangerous tool. The internet in North Korea is completely different from the rest of the world. Only a small portion of the population can use computers in laboratories, offices, universities, and internet cafes in major cities. This internal network is also called Pyongyang or operating on illegally imported Microsoft software and structured like the internet since 1994. Most people and organizations use this free network to access the internet, but it only provides access to a handful of websites for a select group of people. Since 2016, users could access fewer than 30 websites. An American engineer accidentally discovered a list of websites that North Korea allows its citizens to view, and most of the content is propaganda, some cooking recipes, North Korean movies, and information about government trade and tourism. Some academic institutions like the Pyongyang University of Science provide access to the global internet, but access through this channel is strictly controlled. There is no religious freedom. Compared to many places in the world, North Korea has no religious freedom. The North Korean government officially adheres to atheism and actively suppresses all forms of religion. National leaders promote a cult of personality around the Kim family and the Juche theory, emphasizing self-reliance and loyalty to the state. The North Korean government considers any religious activity to be a potential threat to state control, to citizens and the nation. The government views religion as a Western influence incompatible with its socialist ideals, and a potential source of dissent. Religious activities such as attending church or participating in religious ceremonies are illegal in North Korea. The government has arrested, detained, and even executed people for practicing religion or expressing religious beliefs. Religious minorities and other religious groups face particularly severe repression, with reports of these individuals being detained, tortured, or killed for their beliefs. The government also closely monitors citizens to detect any signs of religious activity, and encourages people to report suspicious behavior to the authorities. In summary, there is no religious freedom in North Korea, and the government actively suppresses all forms of religion to maintain control over the country and its citizens. There is no freedom of movement. The North Korean government strictly controls citizens' movement within the country and restricts their ability to travel abroad. Citizens must obtain permission to move within the country and always carry identification proving their residence and workplace. Traveling outside designated areas without permission is illegal and can be severely punished, including imprisonment and forced labor. The government also restricts international travel, and the majority of North Korean citizens are not allowed to leave the country. Only a select few are granted permission to travel abroad, and even then, they are subject to strict government supervision. These restrictions aim to maintain government control over citizens and prevent the spread of information and ideas that the government considers a threat to its socialist ideals. The government views free movement as a potential source of dissent and a way for citizens to learn about the outside world and compare their living conditions with other countries. The North Korean government has strict regulations and laws on citizen behavior and conduct, especially rules regarding respect for national leaders and symbols. Disrespect towards national leaders, symbols, or ideals can lead to severe punishments, including imprisonment, forced labor, and even the death penalty. For example, damaging or vandalizing images of national leaders, including statues, portraits, and other symbols, is a crime. The government also prohibits any form of criticism or negative comments about leaders and their policies. Additionally, the government requires citizens to participate in public events and celebrations to demonstrate loyalty to the state and its ideals. Failure to participate or not fully engage in these events can also be seen as disrespect and lead to punishment. These strict laws and regulations are intended to maintain government control over citizens and promote loyalty to the state and its leaders. The government considers any form of dissent or criticism a potential threat to its power and employs harsh measures to suppress them. Control of television broadcasts. The North Korean government strictly controls all forms of media, including radio and television. The country has a state-run media system, with all media owned and operated by the government. The government rigorously censors all content to ensure it aligns with the nation's socialist ideals and promotes loyalty to the state and its leaders. North Korean citizens are only permitted to listen to and watch state-controlled media channels. These channels broadcast propaganda and government-approved content. The government prohibits citizens from accessing foreign media, including radio and television from outside the country. These restrictions, along with the government's tight control over all forms of media, aim to limit the flow of information and ideas from outside. The government views free access to foreign media as a potential threat to its socialist ideals, and a way for citizens to learn about the outside world and compare their living conditions with other countries. In summary, the North Korean government strictly controls all forms of media, including radio and television, and restrict access to foreign media and internet. These restrictions aim to control the flow of information and ideas from outside, while reinforcing loyalty to the state and leadership. The suppression of K-pop. The North Korean government has long been known for its tight control over cultural and entertainment sectors, including music, film, and television. The government has encouraged traditional Korean forms of music and art, while limiting exposure to foreign cultural influences, including K-pop. In recent years, K-pop has gained global popularity, including in South Korea, North Korea's neighbor. However, the North Korean government is known for suppressing K-pop domestically, citing concerns about the influence of foreign culture on its citizens. The government fears that the popularity of K-pop and other South Korean entertainment forms could weaken its ideological control over citizens. Despite the government's efforts to block K-pop and other foreign entertainment, there are reports that North Korean citizens secretly listen to and watch K-pop, as well as other South Korean media. Some North Koreans have even been arrested for smuggling South Korean music and films, facing severe punishment if caught. Finally, it should be noted that international calls are strictly restricted in North Korea. The North Korean government tightly controls all forms of domestic communication, including telephones and internet, and restricts access to outside information. International calls can only be made with government permission, and mobile phone usage is also severely restricted. Only a very small percentage of North Korea's population uses mobile phones, and they can only make domestic calls without internet access, or make international calls without government permission. The government also strictly controls the use of landline phones, and international calls can only be made from designated and closely monitored lines. The high cost of international calls and limited number of lines make it difficult for most North Koreans to communicate with the outside world. The North Korean government strictly controls communication channels to maintain power and prevent citizens from accessing information that contradicts propaganda or challenges socialist ideals. The government views uncontrolled communication as a potential threat to its power and actively suppresses it.